Yeah, Judy, let's forget all those troubles. Come on, get happy. This is a special new day after many events this week. I welcome you to Unity South, Twin Cities. Those of you who have joined us in the sanctuary, those who are still coming in, and all of you who have joined us online, nearby or in distant places, we welcome you, because we know as you focus upon this service with those physically present, you are adding a consciousness of well-being, of joy, of thanksgiving to our service here. So please know, all of you in Facebook land and on YouTube, you make a difference right here at Unity South. If you are joining us on Facebook, use that chat stream and let us know from where you are watching. What is your hometown? And also, a reminder for those of you here in the sanctuary, would you please silence your phones and any other devices you might have brought to church? It's important because occasionally, at special times like silent prayer, a device might go off. And although that's fun on occasion, like a baby's cry during the service, we don't want to make a habit of it. So remember your phones. Today's team, I am Reverend James Stacey. My service assistant for May continues to be the one and only Francine Evans. Judy Moen, our music director, our special guest vocalist today, somewhere in the building, is Geoff Jones. And our tech team is here in its full complement. Patty Tangi, Adam Schneider on sound, and Don Ramler on camera. So we appreciate them making all of this possible today, not only so that you can hear, but those far beyond this building can see and participate in this service. So all is good. Come on, get happy. So let us now turn to our opening prayer. I invite you to join with me in prayer as we set the attention, as we align our thoughts, our hearts with the purpose of this service and ultimately the purpose of the ministry of Unity South. Let us begin our prayer and set our focus with the words of a sacred song. Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hand the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Father, Mother God, we long for the freedom to live creatively and fully the life you intended for all your creation. We ask your Spirit of truth to cleanse our minds and hearts from thoughts and feelings, perceptions and moods that do not lead us in the direction of peace, joy, and fulfillment. Help us to use that wonderful key each day as we hold to the truth of your powerful presence each day and in all ways in which we share this life with humanity and all of creation. Jesus Christ, our way shower, you guide us into all truth as you taught the disciples, you are the light of the world. Therefore, we may know that the light that we are is the light by which we see our world. We guide one another by the strength of our vision of good, of God. Let us affirm together our statement of being. There is but one presence and one power in my life, in this church, and in the universe, God, the omnipotent good. And so at this time, let us fill this sanctuary with the warmth and truth of the divine presence as we sing Surely the Presence. And I invite you here in the sanctuary to sing more freely with your mask or without it, and for those online to please join us in this beloved melody. Of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's loving power and God's grace. There's a holy truth within me that no thing can displace. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. And now it is my privilege to invite the presence of Francine to come to the lectern.
Thank you, Reverend Stacey. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Francine Evans, and it is my privilege to be with you each and every Sunday in May. I welcome you to Unity South Twin Cities, whether you're watching online or seated here in the sanctuary. Wherever you are, please know that you are important, wise, and a compassionate influence in the service. We welcome our visitors joining us for the first time, and let us greet them, affirming together. We welcome you, we bless you, and we're glad you're here. For our joyous gathering today, let us hold this thought. We behold the Christ in you. Let us speak it together. We behold the Christ in you. Throughout the week, remember your Unity South community and hold a silent blessing for each one who calls Unity South home. We acknowledge the global human family and the diversity of religious experiences. Let us give thanks for seekers everywhere who turn their attention Godward, as we give thanks for one Spirit abiding in us all. We offer this blessing to everyone. Namaste, which means the sacred in me greets the sacred in you. And now turning our focus to our ministry, we join in the Unity South centering statement with focused thought and warmth of feeling. Together, centered in God, assured by faith, and prospered by divine love, we boldly move forward to serve humanity by building our lives and Unity South Church together. Today's announcements. The altar flowers are given by Don and Sharon Rollifson in celebration of their recent 26th wedding anniversary, which was on May the 12th. Congratulations. And happy belated anniversary. And speaking of flowers, we want to thank all who ordered Mother's Day flowers during our fundraiser. The end result was a sellout that was beautiful to behold and a benefit to Unity South. The total raised was $795. So thank you so much. And a special thank you to Lindy for coordinating that. Lindy's back in the back. Thank you so much. Join us next Sunday, May 23rd. That's when Reverend James Stacey will present his lesson, Manifesting Your Fiery Passion. Woo! This is the day of Pentecost, as described in the books of Acts. Power from on high descended into the apostles in the upper room in Jerusalem. Empowered, they went forth to do the work of Spirit. This service will also include an installation ceremony for our new 2021 Board of Directors. Judy Moen, Holly Circle, and Jimmy Steffen will offer their musical talents, and I will be your service assistant. Now let us prepare for a time of community prayer as I read the daily word. Today's daily word for Sunday, May 16th, 2021 is strength. Divine strength invigorates my body and quickens my mind. If I feel energy waning during a time of vigorous physical or mental activity, if my get up and go has got up and gone, I remember these inspiring words from the Prayer of Faith by Hannah Moore Kohlhaas. God is my strength, unfailing, quick. The strength of God is my strength, and it's more than sufficient to meet my every need. More than toughness or forcefulness, spiritual strength is quiet fortitude, a rootedness in the inexhaustible wellspring of the divine. Today, I release all thought of weakness or impossibility. I feel the power of divine strength flowing through me, invigorating my body and bringing renewed clarity to my thoughts. The strength of God is my strength. For God's foolishness is wiser than human wisdom, and God's weakness is stronger than human strength. 1 Corinthians, 1st chapter, 25th verse. Let us just take a moment to focus on strength. Divine strength invigorates my body and quickens my mind. And so it is.
Let's take the opportunity to come together as a community in prayer at this time. I invite you to become comfortable where you are seated, to become comfortable in your home, wherever that may be, and to just take a couple of deep breaths, just as a sign to your body and mind. I am here present. I am calm and relaxed. And I willingly enter a time of prayer with this community and silence within my being. Centered now in this peace, we acknowledge the truth. Father, Mother God, you are always and everywhere present. I choose now to turn my attention Godward, that is, to fill my awareness with your presence and power. I am willing to let go of my concerns and busyness, even of this very day, and allow my mind and heart to be filled with what is essential, the spiritual strength born of your presence and blessing. For we know in truth that you, God, so loved your creation that you gave your only begotten, that you placed your divine essence in each and every one, No one and no thing was left out from your divine presence. We can turn to this reality, truly the very root of our life, and our healing is made manifest. Our sense of abundance and well-being is established. Our vision is cleared. Our will is strengthened. We see the good that has manifested in our life and our world, and we envision all that is yet to be. For your intention for your creation is always good, always power, life, supply. We now make firm this divine idea within our soul as we join with silent unity, the prayer ministry that circles this globe. And we hold this affirmative thought they have prepared for May. I am a radiating center of light and understanding. I am a radiating center of light and understanding. We might transform that statement to I am a radiating center of vision, and I stand upon divine strength. It is my foundation. God, you are the light in the center of me. My mind is one with your infinite mind. With every breath, my mind seeks and finds spiritual understanding, strength. This light guides my way. My thoughts become productive, and the way ahead becomes clear in the light of your Spirit. We hold this truth in a moment of silence and stillness. And now, in this rich, powerful, profound awareness of your presence, dear Creator God, we bring to mind those who have written prayer requests to Unity South, those who have turned to silent unity from around the world. And we say, dear friend, with compassion, we recognize any struggle, any illness, any lack. But in turn, we affirm your reaching out through prayer for a greater connection with God assures and establishes your increased health, supply, sense of self-worth, and vision for your life. As you affirm God in the very circumstances of your life, you take a step forward into the realization of good, of well-being, and know that you are a blessing in this world. And let us now lift this time of prayer to its highest realization. As we focus on those words Jesus taught as a perfect pattern of prayer, the Lord's Prayer, I invite those online to sing along, and those in the sanctuary to enjoy singing the thought behind these words and this beautiful melody. In heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Good morning. You know, in these times of trouble, I'm assured by the words from Deuteronomy 14. It says, "You are children of the Lord your God." So as children of God, I just want to say, things are going to get easier. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday, when your head's much lighter. Someday, yeah, we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday, when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll put it together and we'll get it all done. Someday, when the world's much brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday, when it gets much lighter. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Someday, yeah, we'll get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday, when it gets much lighter. Someday, yeah, we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday, when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter right now.
Ooh, musical morning. We started with Get Happy, and we envisioned a brighter, easier time of living. But what brings this all about? What brings this all about? One of my favorite vocalists from years past, although she's still very active, is Patti LaBelle. And she reminded us of new attitude. New attitude. Our attitude says it all for us. Eric Butterworth, famed Unity minister in New York City, would say, your attitude says everything about the world for you. Your attitude creates everything you experience for you. It is your vision, your way of seeing. In the 1960s television show Laugh-In, Flip Wilson, as his alter ego Geraldine, shouted, "What you see is what you get." Is anybody old enough like me to remember the 60s? Thank you. What you see is what you get. Implying that her bold outer character didn't hide behind any pretense. She also was implying you have to take me as you find me. Maybe she could have even said, like the cartoon Popeye, I am what I am. I am what I am. I didn't realize as a child, when I watched the Popeye cartoon, he was giving me Aya Asher Aya, the words of Moses when he confronted the divine. Who shall I tell the people sent to me? And the divine response was, I am that I am. Flip Wilson did not coin that popular phrase, "What you see is what you get." Geraldine only helped to make it more well-known. It was already used in advertising at least as far back as the 1940s. Its acronym, WYSIWYG, is pronounced WYSIWYG. WYSIWYG. I brought that in thinking of my good friend, Don Belter, who likes a good acronym. WYSIWYG. Now that's memorable. You can hear that phrase. In the 1970s, Xerox used this phrase to emphasize their computer graphics program would print on paper exactly what you saw on the computer screen. What you see is what you get out of the printer. 20 years later, the well-known New York Unity minister and author Eric Butterworth, who wasn't far from the advertising center of Madison Avenue, began to bring a new interpretation to this term. One of his most popular spiritual books is Spiritual Economics. It is the inspiration for today's exploration. Butterworth posed the question, where does our sight, our vision, begin? In the outer world of events and sounds and sights? Butterworth advised that we take a step back, a preceding step to WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. Before we consider what we perceive in the outer world, he suggested our sight was shaped and determined by our consciousness. Simply put, we see what we expect to see. He raised Unity eyebrows even at that time by suggesting that we don't see and receive the good that we pray for, or that we affirm with many positive statements. Butterworth said, we get what we expect. We get what we expect. The consciousness, the mind we have built within, will determine what we are capable of seeing. Of course, Butterworth was inspired by several teachers of New Thought who preceded him. Charles Fillmore, who taught in Unity from its very beginning, that we see and experience in this world what begins in mind. Everything we see, everything we experience begins as an idea in mind. Thomas Troward in England, a famous and acclaimed metaphysician in the early 20th century, offered his version of this truth when he wrote, "Having seen and felt the end, you have willed the means to realize that end." What you have seen and felt, you have created a will, a pattern to realize that in the outer world. And we can go even further back to the 17th century mystic Angelus Silesius, a German Catholic priest and physician who claimed that thou seest man, become thou must. God if thou seest God, and dust if thou seest dust. Butterworth described the miracle of visual perception, that it is in the mind's ability to put together an image with meaning, conditioned by the thoughts we hold I would use the word expectation. What are you expecting of life? What are you expecting of the world? Or in one of Butterworth's famous axioms, you see things not as they are, but as you are. Oh, I see some nodding heads. Good. You see things not as they are, but as you are. Etymology, or the root meaning of words, was a favorite exploration for Butterworth. And so he calls our attention to the root of our word I, E-Y-E, is in the Hebrew word ayin, ayin, which means fountain, fountain. Butterworth gets an inspiration from this root word and claims that true seeing is a flow of consciousness, flowing like a fountain from within. Thus, where you are in consciousness has everything to do with what you will see in experience. If we had time today, we would look at the many research experiments in psychology that have found what people expect, the routine, the habit that they get into, shapes what they see. Shapes what they see. It's just counterintuitive to what we think about with physical sight. I recently took one of my Unity minister friends down to Mayo to have her regular checkup for her sight. They're trying to keep the macular degeneration in the retina from developing further. And in that sense, we're all concerned about the light of the outer world that flows through the eye and falls on the retina, sending signals to the optical center of the brain, where it is fashioned into the image we think we are seeing. But Butterworth, as well as these other teachers in New Thought and beyond, are suggesting there's a step before the process of your physical optical system, and that is your mind. What is it expecting to find out here in the world? And that leads me to the essential aspect of what you see in your world. And that is, what are you feeding your mind through consistent rehearsing and thinking and feeling? Are you building up a consciousness that expects to find good, abundance, vital life, opportunity for your benefit, opportunity for the benefit of the world in what you think you're seeing out here? Remember that old song Diana Ross made famous? What are you looking for? Do you really know? Do you really give it a thought? Well, we're going to do that in a few moments in the silence. Give ourselves a little time to reflect on, what am I really looking for? What is my expectation of life? You know that old phrase, be careful what you pray for, you'll get it. So be careful what you're expecting. because you're going to get it. Butterworth often cited the very beginning of our unity tradition, inspired by Lessons in Truth by Dr. H. Emily Cady, a homeopathic physician in New York City. Some of you have been studying that book for the last 12 weeks online through Zoom, and this afternoon we'll come to the conclusion. And that conclusion was a powerful chapter she entitled, Bondage or Liberty, Which? Bondage or liberty, which? She states it is our choice what we will establish in our consciousness, fetters or freedom. Fetters or freedom. Fetters that not only hold us back, but even determine what we will see in the world. Surely, a better choice is freedom, to go forth and meet our good as we see it. Katie wrote, "Do not be under the bondage to false beliefs about your circumstances or your environment. God is in everything that happens to you. There are no second causes. No matter how evil circumstances may appear, or how much it may seem that some other personality is at the foundation of your sorrow and trouble, God, good alone is real there. If we have the courage to persist in seeing only God in it all, even human wrath shall invariably turn to our advantage. The very circumstances in your life that seem like heartbreaking evils will turn to joy before your eyes if you will steadfastly refuse to see anything but God in them." I would like to add to Katie's words that we can form a habit, a consistency, or what Charles Fillmore called spiritual strength, steadfastness, consistency in our life. We can do that by seeing God, possibility, potential for good in every situation. If there is conflict in your life, look for new understanding within others and yourself. If there appears to be lack, look for abundant possibility. What can you start with and gradually increase? Everything starts as a creative idea and then manifests in form. This is the purpose why we as a church, and many churches follow this tradition, in beginning the Sunday service with the statement of being. Its purpose is to prime our minds, set our intentions with a positive perspective. There are plenty of problems and conflicts that we can acknowledge in our life, in our world. But in unity, we begin with this statement: there is only one presence and one power in my life, in this church, and in the universe, God the omnipotent good. That is the lasting presence and power. And I will to see it. I will to affirm it. Now, we don't say it to create lots of good things in our life. We don't say it to sound impressive to one another. We say it because it is an essential truth, and we want this truth to become the focus of our sight. We want to align or calibrate our vision to this truth. The central creative power in our life is our consciousness, our focus on good, on God. What you see, what you look for, what you expect will become your experience. Charles Fillmore, in his last days, would ask those who came to see him at home, those who had the privilege of visiting him toward his last days on earth. He, with excitement, even though he was physically weakening, would ask people, what are the most important words in the Bible? What are the most important words in the Bible? I promise you that should I ever visit you at home or in the hospital at a time like that, I'm not going to come up to you and say, Judy, what's the most important phrase in the Bible? But Charles did. And people would say, oh, Mr. Fillmore, what do you think? And turn the question around. And he would say, it is Christ in you, your hope of glory. Paul proclaimed this truth to the community at Colossae as the mystery or the secret power hidden through the ages and generations, but now revealed. Christ vision. Christ vision within our consciousness creates the true vision of great possibilities. We can see with that divine eye, that Christ eye, and discover the true, the essential, the lasting in our world. Jesus shared it in that famous Sermon on the Mount that begins with the so-called Beatitudes. And sometimes those Beatitudes in English can be a bit mysterious. They call for you to dig for understanding. Well, one of the Beatitudes is, blessed are the pure in heart. Blessed and the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Good. We might phrase it, blessed or mature are those who are pure and clear of heart and focused in mind upon the good. And they will find God. They will see the divine power. So in conclusion, as you remember WYSIWYG during the week, what you see is what you get. Remember the creative process that precedes it. What you see is what you expect, what you're looking for. Your sight doesn't begin out there in the world of circumstances, it begins within. The greatest creativity that you have, the greatest creative tool, is your mind. Is your mind. It sets your vision. It sets your path. It opens the door for what will come into your life and your experience. So let's transition for a few moments and take this exploration into the silence. Our point of power always begins within. So I invite you to center yourself, close your eyes if you choose, as we turn our attention to our inner reality. In that Sermon on the Mount, Jesus offered questions to open us inwardly. Seek, and you will find. Ask, and it will be given. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. We can start by holding those statements within, asking in the depth of our soul, seek and you will find. What am I seeking? What do I long to find? What is my great expectation in my seeking? For the promise is that I will find it. What is it? What do I expect of life? I trust the Spirit of truth to raise new insights within me. What do I expect? Ask, and it will be given. What am I asking of life with my consistent thoughts and feelings? Trouble, negativity, conflict? Or am I asking for order, positive results, cooperation? Knock, and the door will be open to you. What doors in my life and within my community am I knocking on? Doors that open me to a soul mood of discouragement, or doors that lead to my empowerment? Perhaps in these moments of silence, you've had a realization. Perhaps you're not seeking your highest good. Not asking the strength to move you toward your highest good. Or not knocking on the door that opens to your highest good. Often these realizations come in the hours and days after you have posed these questions to your mind and heart. So in no way be discouraged. For there is a divine promise. Madison Avenue would call it a guarantee. That when you seek, you will find. When you ask, you will receive. When you knock, the door will be opened. But it is for you, always, to determine what you are seeking, what you are asking, what you are knocking upon. So gradually, allow your attention to move to outer awareness, filling your physical senses. Open your eyes as you are ready. I like to end with, wow, wow, world of wonders. What creative power is within me, within you? It is simply a matter of what are you focusing upon? What are you asking for? What door are you knocking on in your life and your world? Because Spirit guarantees you will find, you will receive, the way will be opened. And so we are grateful for the possibilities in our individual lives, in our spiritual community, in our city and our world. Unlimited possibilities of good are before us. Let's awaken to them. Claim them. Let them come through in our life and inform what we see. And so it is. Let's enjoy a cap on this through the beauty of music.
Well, we started the service talking about happy. So we're going to end the service with happy. So I need you to put your hands together like this. Yeah. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. Now, the universal term for assent or agreement has been amen. But nowadays we just say, yeah. So I need you to give me a big yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Might sound crazy what I'm about to say. Yeah. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. Yeah, hot air balloon that can go to space. In the air, but I don't care, by the way. Because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. I got my choir out there. Clap along if you know that that's what you want to do. Listen. Come bad news, talking this and that. You ready for your yeah? Yeah! Give it all you got, no holding back. Yeah! I'll be there to warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah, no thanks to you, go and waste your time. Here's why, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you know that that's what you want to do. Then I love the bridge. It says, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. My level's too high, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. My love is too high. I love that lyric. Now listen. Where's my sopranos? Where's my altos? I know you're all here. Sing along with me. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, happy. Oh, somebody's ahead of me. And the bass go happy, happy. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, 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 happy. Keep it up, keep it up. Sounding so good, sounding real sweet. all together now. I hope you're singing at home. Happy. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. My level's too high. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down, because I'm happy. Happy. One more time. Happy, 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 happy. Yeah.
I love it, and I'm happy. Thanks, Geoff. No, yeah. Thank you so much for that. That was great. And now it's time to bless our gifts. We are grateful for all the gifts sent by mail or given online at unitysouth.org. Together, we will keep this ministry energized to complete its important mission so that all who turn to Unity South will be embraced, loved, and empowered by our collective consciousness. We live in a benevolent and supportive universe, and we are grateful. Please take your gifts in your hands, or hold your online giving receipt, or hold in mind your financial commitment, and together, let us bless our gifts. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and I am grateful. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. Those in the sanctuary, please leave your offerings in the container at the back by the door. And now, Reverend Stacey, our call to action.
Did you hear how Geoff worked through rhythm, which is another word for spiritual strength? Rhythm. It builds something into our consciousness, even into our very bodies. So choose what you want to rhythmically build into your mind and your heart, your very body. Another way to do that is your call to action, your assignment this week if you choose to take it. I encourage you to take some time, it doesn't have to be a lot, but some time this week to journal. That is to write down your insights after you've spent a few minutes meditating on Jesus' words, seek, ask, knock. And try to build this idea of great expectations of life, of your life, by setting this in the very center of your being. The way I do it in the privacy of my time is another song from another genre. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I have a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. If you're like me, you repeat it over and over and over again. But it's building into your consciousness an expectation for good in your life, in your world. You've got that power. Start rehearsing it. Start singing it over and over again. Feel the rhythm down to your very bones. I go to seek my good, and let it be. So now as we depart today, I'll reverse my instructions and say as we leave the sanctuary, let's go straight outside. It's a beautiful day, and take some time to visit with one another. Now the mask is no longer a requirement, but it is your personal choice. What makes you feel most comfortable? what makes you feel that you are respecting the well-being of others, and choose whether you wear the mask or not. So let us seal this time now with our prayer for protection and speak it down to our very bones. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And let all is well. Have a happy day, my friends.